Well, good day. Welcome. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Q and CCA. This is episode 7, and I'm really excited about today. I know I say that to start most of our episodes, if not all of them. But today, I have a special guest with us today. Joining me today is someone from an industry where we don't have many winners. But given all that's going on right now with COVID, it's definitely an industry that seems to get a lot of attention. And that is someone from the restaurant and food service category. So joining me today is Kristina Sonney from Vancouver. And I have tried before we started, Kristina, to say your name of the company correctly. But at the risk of offending, I won't because I won't try to do an accent. So I'm gonna hand over to you, Kristina, to introduce yourself, where you're from, and your company.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Jeff. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Kristina Sonney. I reside in Vancouver, BC, and our business is called D'oro Gelato e Caffè. It's an Italian gelateria where we specialize in making artisanal gelato in small batches, true Italian coffee, pastries, desserts, paninis, gelato cakes. And so being in the hospitality industry, yes, as you're correct, it has been a challenge for us, but it's been a challenge for everyone, not just us in the hospitality, but it seems that the hospitality has been hit pretty hard.
Well, again, Kristina, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to get to some specific questions about your business in a second and about your industry. But before we jump into that, I have been asking folks to join us to really talk about some tactics. So let's set some context. Prior to COVID, what would you say were your most effective marketing and advertising channels?
Well, mostly word of mouth and social media, and that really hasn't changed very much. We did do a little bit with tourism Vancouver for a few years because our locations are quite tourist related, especially the one on Robson Street. But really it's more word of mouth and, Twitter, Facebook, those kinds of things. That's our biggest advertising. Okay.
And well, thanks. That sets some context for some questions that we're going to lead into. And obviously, you've been an award winner for a few years now, and I've been on your website preparing for today. And I noticed a disclaimer, like I've seen across many restaurants, those that are not just our winners, but that as a consumer that I've been looking at during this time as well. And I see that there's a disclaimer that because of COVID, that you are open for pickup and takeout only.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, and again, as I said, we don't have many winners in the food services and hospitality field, and it is, I would say, no matter what province it's in, restaurants seem to be a bit of a measuring stick that the media talks about. Restaurants are opening. How are they going to open? What are the capacities? So during this time, what has it been like for your company to be takeout and pickup only?
Well, certainly a considerable drop in business. We did offer 25% off on all our paninis and combos. We basically had a special twice a week on combos. But in order to satisfy both the healthcare workers who were working in the area of our stores, we provided 25% off every day, as well as to just the general public. It's a hard time for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Financially and mentally, and so sometimes it feels good to go out and get something. But we're very grateful that we had a lot of local support. We also did free coffee and tea to all the healthcare workers, and we felt that was part of giving back to the community that we needed to do. We have a long-term healthcare facility just behind our place on Robson. So, they were grateful for that, right?
Sure.
You don't get if you don't give, so.
Yeah, well, I think that's very true. And, whether you believe in karma or whatever you want to call it, I have found that, well, first of all, that's very admirable because it's not easy during this time where, as first off saying, there's been a drop in revenue. But not only when there's a drop in revenue, all of a sudden to start dropping your prices. Those aren't easy business decisions. However, I would say that, there's more than just probably the fantastic food that you provide and the outstanding service. reputation, as you mentioned, word of mouth is part of who you are. That goes a long way. And I have found that there are so many companies that they're making one of two decisions, and it's either the right decision or the wrong decision. I won't go into too many details, but there was a high-end grocer here in Toronto where I'm at that right in the early days did something terrible, and it got a lot of PR as it related to a price gouge on some hand sanitizer. And you know what? It was terrible for them. And again, that's a decision they made when they could have even gone the other way to say, to appreciate all our customers, we're going to provide hand sanitizer at no charge. And what a different tone or tune that would have been for that company. So, here you guys are, as you mentioned, originally said, there's a drop in revenue, but in addition to that, free coffee for frontline workers and the things that you're doing. So, yeah, I think that's admirable, and I'm sure that your reputation will benefit from that as we move forward. So that's, thank you for sharing, and thank you obviously for doing what you're doing.
It's our pleasure.
So since COVID, you had mentioned some of the stuff that you've done prior to this, and I'm sure you, like everyone else, is anxiously waiting for doors just to reopen. Is there anything specifically that you're doing from a marketing and advertising standpoint to prepare yourself for that day?
Well, we remained open, so we never closed our doors. And so we think that advertising has to continue through. Even if you were closed, we think advertising is an integral part of it. And it reminds people of who you are.
I think that's great. But I also really want to go back to, I was, really touched by what you shared at the beginning about the things that you're doing to recognize those who are putting themselves at risk. And, I think that's really admirable. And I really, truly believe that, probably that's not only why your reputation is so great, why you continue to win the Consumer Choice Award as being number one. But I firmly believe those things will always come back to you. I look forward to seeing the doors fully reopen and seeing you in person. Now, I've been asking everyone this question on this series. What does being a Consumer Choice Award winning company mean for you?
Builds people's trust and confidence in our product, makes our customers more comfortable. It's customer loyalty to a certain degree. What is loyalty? What is customer loyalty? Here today, gone tomorrow, right? It makes us more aware of what we need to do to continue to strive and be better. It's Choice Winner is not a destination, it's a journey. And it's the journey about how to get there. How do you strive to be better? What do you do to be better? In Consumer Choices, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel proud to have that sticker on your door.
Sure. Well, I think that's great. You highlighted trust, and that's always what we at Consumer Choice Award talk about. We think that it's, this is an ability for you to differentiate yourself from your competitors, but because consumers want to do business with, a company that other consumers have said is the best. But I'm also really, I always like to hear that the companies that win this award use it as inspiration, right? So it serves as a reminder. I've seen people say, I see that plaque on our walls, and it serves as a reminder that we need to continue with business excellence. And, I'm glad that CCA can play that role as well.
Yeah, and instilling it in your employees, having them wear that pin on their apron and explain to them what it is, that pin, what does it mean, right? Providing that consistency, and reliability to the customer and the trust, that's what it is.
Good. Well, I have no doubt that there'll probably be many more wins in your future. I think that's great. The things that you're doing, your reputation and what you're instilling in the staff. I think that's these are all very admirable traits. So, Christina, thank you so much. I was really excited when I saw that we had a winner from the hospitality field wanting to, get themselves out there and discuss, their business in a very hard time. So, I, and I'm sure everyone who's watched this, is very appreciative of your time and what you shared with us today. So thank you
so much, Jeff. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Of course. And, I can't wait to hopefully be out in Vancouver at some point soon and have a coffee and probably a gelato as well. And, talk about this webinar with you without plexiglass. I look forward to. I
hope so. We have a couple of tables already, so we're ready to take you in.
Terrific. Well, thanks again. And thank you for watching. And we've really enjoyed this web series. And if this is something that you would like to participate, well, we'd like to have you. You can reach out to me at any time. My email address is probably on the screen now as you're watching, as well as in the email that was sent to you. Send me a note, and I'd love to have you participate. I'm moving these web series a little bit more into one-on-ones and really getting into industry-specific and really questions about the reopening and tactics people are using. I think we've probably come far enough in this journey describing what is going on in the world. It's now time to make the shift collectively to talk about how we're all going to get out of it. So if that is something that you feel you've got a great story to share, well, I'd love to have you on here to share it. So please email me. And once again, before I sign off, thanks for watching, and special thanks to Kristina for giving us your time today.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks to all, and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.